Carrie here from Healing Humanity, and I am out grounding in the beautiful woods on a beautiful day, and I wanted to talk a little bit about wrapping your brain around carnivore, because I had a lot of problems wrapping my brain around carnivore, and I was this close to probably not doing it and ignoring it and calling it crazy and letting my big brain and my big ego think that I was too smart or too solidified in my ways to change. I thank God every day that I did change. I've been carnivore now for over 2 years. I'm down over 100 pounds since my heaviest. I overcame depression, anxiety, arthritis, gout, reversed my congestive heart failure. It's all in my medical records. Went back 1 year after starting carnivore. My congestive heart failure is reversed. My lifelong irregular heartbeat that I had since birth has reversed. Blood pressure improved, IBS is gone, arthritis is gone, gout in my foot is gone. So many things have recovered for me. I thank God every day. Besides all of that, I am living my life to its fullest potential, which most people won't do their entire lives. Most people are living in a brain fog, standard American stupor. They plop down on the couch and they do the bare minimum. They go along to get along, and they're just barely getting by. At one time, they had that little spark, those hopes, those dreams, those goals, and they no longer have them now. Those are replaced by sugar and carbohydrates and brain fog and fatigue. That was one of the biggest realizations for me on carnivore. But in terms of wrapping my brain around this craziness, for those of you that are watching that are suffering and are hopeless, but you just can't quite wrap your brain around doing this crazy carnivore thing, this is my best encouragement for you. This is what I would tell a loved one. This is what I would tell myself if I could go back in a time machine. Number one, don't do anything in your life as a lifelong commitment. I'm doing carnivore for the rest of my life, but I'm not you, and you're not me. I didn't start carnivore saying I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. Otherwise, I never would have done it. I couldn't have wrapped my brain around it. So I committed to 30 days. That really helped me. And I realized that I could do anything for 30 days. I'm a pretty strong guy. I'm pretty blessed. I have the ability to go to the grocery store and eat burger patties every day if I want. That sounds kind of crazy, but I would estimate maybe 95% of the population of the planet doesn't have that privilege to just go to the grocery store, snap their finger, and have ground beef right there for them, or burger patties, or steaks. All these incredible things. So I said I can do anything for 30 days. Then I rephrased carnivore as an elimination diet. I said, you know what? I'm not going to do this crazy carnivore thing. What I will do is a strict elimination diet. What I will do is get rid of sugars and seed oils and food dyes that are literally proven to cause cancer, and they're banned in other countries, but for one reason or another, those things are allowed here in America. I'm going to abstain from all of those things, plus all of the crazy carbs and grains that I knew from doing ketogenic diets on and off through the years were nothing but bad news for me. I learned the science behind it. That helped me as well. Knowing that whether I eat a candy bar or a potato or some pasta or an apple, if it's carbohydrates, it breaks down as glucose in my blood. And your blood doesn't know the difference if that's glucose from an apple or from a candy bar. It spikes the dopamine in the brain. It perpetuates the addiction. It's all garbage. It's all trash. And it's all the reason that so many of us are overweight. We try to lose some weight, we try to moderate, and then we try to go back to these crazy things in moderation. So approach it as an elimination diet for 30 days. Don't say I'm doing a carnivore diet for the rest of my life. Don't even say I'm doing a carnivore diet. Don't even commit to it. Just say I'm going to do a strict elimination diet for 30 days. And when you get rid of all of that garbage, the truth of the matter is you're left with beef, butter, bacon, eggs. The cleanest whole ingredient foods on the entire planet. I would bet my life on it. I know you're thinking, what about fruits and vegetables? Fruits and vegetables are perverted and they're compromised. An apple is a big ball of sugar. It's got pesticides on it, glyphosate on it. All of this fruit has been genetically modified over and over again to be sweeter and sweeter. The vegetables, there's an epidemic of leaky gut going on right now in the world from glyphosate. Glyphosate is a weed killer, and it is patented as an antibiotic. Google that because people keep correcting me on it. Humans, yourself included, that eats a salad every single day, you're consuming glyphosate every single time. You're consuming low levels of antibiotics chronically for years and years and decades and decades. When you do that, you get cancer. When you do that, you get leaky gut, you get depression, you get brain fog, you get all the issues that you're suffering with right now. So when you think about all those things, it's easier to wrap your brain around just eating beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and just doing it for 30 days and seeing how it goes. And then on day 31, you can go back to whatever you want, but you're going to feel so good you're not going to want to. That helped me. And the other thing that really, really helped me was putting my ego to rest. Us humans, we all have egos, and we all think we know best, and we look around in the world and we take advice from other people, and we know there's other smart people out there, but ultimately we always think, I know what's going on, I know me, I know what's best. I started seeing some incredibly intelligent people that were doing carnivore. And I thought carnivore was crazy. Well, if carnivore is crazy, why is family medicine doctor Tony Hampton, who's been a practicing doctor for over 20 years, who runs a whole health clinic, and he advocates this for his patients, why would he be doing this? And then in my brain, I'm like, because he's maybe a little bit crazy. Throw that one out. I found Dr. Ken Berry, family medicine doctor, been practicing for like 20 years also, and he advocates for this, and he does it himself, and he's practicing what he's preaching. Maybe he's a little crazy. Then I found Dr. Philip Ovadia, a heart surgeon who's performed thousands of heart surgeries, and he's lost almost 100 pounds eating a carnivore diet. He advocates it for his patients. He's written a book, Stay Off My Operating Table. This guy literally performs heart surgery. Smarter than me. Then I learned about Dr. Anthony Chafee, a neurosurgeon who's been eating carnivore for years and years. He's thriving, he's ripped, he's jacked, he's the smartest, most energetic person I've ever met, and he's eating a carnivore diet. And by the way, he's performed brain surgery on people. Am I really going to sit here and think, maybe I'm smarter than a heart surgeon, a brain surgeon, family medicine doctors? Am I smarter than Dr. Jordan Peterson? Dr. Jordan Peterson is arguably one of the smartest men on the planet. And he eats a carnivore diet for many years. Now, he was on Joe Rogan. He said, I stopped snoring the first week on carnivore. He said, I've been off all my antidepressant medications, and I've been off them all for over a year now. That's what ultimately convinced me. That's crazy. That's what's really got me fired up about carnivore. And then I saw a comment on Dr. Berry's videos, and it said, Dr. Berry saved my life. 5 words. And that was it. And then I was done. I learned about carnivore through Dante Ferrigno, an individual story, but it was these doctors and these really smart people that I saw doing it and advocating for it and realizing what is their motivation. That's the last thing I'm going to end this video on. What is the upside for a very smart Dr. Jordan Peterson to go on Joe Rogan and risk all the ridicule? It's not even a risk. He knows he's going to get ridiculed. If he goes on Joe Rogan and says, listen, I've been only eating meat for 6 years, he's going to get ridiculed because it's a social norm to eat plants and vegetables, and he's going against the fabric, he's going against the social norm, he's going against everything. He's going to get ridiculed. He could lose money, he could lose sponsorship, he could lose partnerships with people, endless grief. There's literally no upside for Dr. Jordan Peterson to go on Joe Rogan and talk about eating meat. There's none. He could have done it in the privacy of his home. The only logical reason that that man would do that is because he's a good person with a big heart who wants other people to find the incredible healing that he has found, who wants other people that were hopeless, like his daughter was and like Jordan was when he was depressed, to no longer be hopeless. He found something that actually gave him hope, and he wanted to share that with other people because he's a good person, even if it means alienating people, upsetting people, and making people mad. That is how I wrap my brain around it, because that's the truth. That is the truth. Run through that scenario in your head and see if you can find any other reason for it, because I can't. And so those are some of the things that help me. The last thing I'll say is this, even though I think I've had a couple last things already. These stories are incredible. There's so many stories. Shout out my buddy Dave Mack. He's interviewed over 1,000 carnivores. I've interviewed hundreds of carnivores. My buddy Adam at Carnivore Today. There's so many channels out there that are interviewing carnivores, and there's thousands of stories of people healing crazy things in their medical records, like MS reversal, lesions of MS no longer on the scans after doing carnivore. People overcoming heart disease like I did, people losing hundreds of pounds, so many people overcoming depression. I've heard hundreds, if not probably thousands of stories, but with the comments on my channel, of which I've had like 100,000, I've heard thousands of stories of healing on carnivore for everything you could imagine. It almost sounds too good to be true, and I wouldn't believe it if I didn't understand the science behind it. We are all so sick, not because humans are there's just something wrong with us, there's just something weird with us that we get all this disease and sickness. The mass majority of the entirety of humanity is sick because all of us are eating this garbage that we were never intended to eat. And all disease begins in the gut. Hippocrates said this thousands of years ago. Let food be thy medicine. All disease begins in the gut. And it's been true since the start of time. And yes, carnivore heals an incredible amount of things, but it's just because it's the antidote to the craziness that we've been doing. It's so abnormal throughout the history of mankind that this little sliver of time right now that we're doing this little standard American diet, this is the standard American diet right here, this is all of time right here that we're poisoning ourselves. And we're all getting sicker and sicker, and it turns into a social norm. That's just the way it's always been because we're all very myopic, and we just accept it and we think that's the way it's been. But if you're objective and you're out in the beautiful woods like I am with my little friend right here, there's animals everywhere. There's millions of species on this planet, and I find a lot of reassurance in that thought that not one of those species suffers like humans do. Not one of them. You don't see a deer in the wild with its gut dragging on the ground and patches of fur missing because it's got psoriasis and eczema and skin issues, and it's scratching itself and it's limping along because it's so arthritic, and there's one over there laying on the ground dead from a heart attack. That one's got cancer. You don't see it in the wild. Why? Because the deer is eating its naturally intended diet. And every species of animal on this planet, for the most part, except for humans and the poor pets that we feed the grains that they were never intended to eat, those are the only species that are getting sick. None of the other millions and millions and millions of species get sick because they eat their intended diet. It's all just the food we're eating. It's so simple. So I hope that helps you. I know there's a lot of people watching my channel that are thinking about doing carnivore, and they're prolonging their suffering because they can't wrap their brain around it, or they can't start it, or they can't do it. I hope that helps you. If you want to learn more about what I'm doing, I'm filming a documentary called Healing Humanity, The Power of a Proper Human Diet. We're on the home stretch. We filmed 45 individuals. We've got a handful more to go, and then we're going to wrap things up, and then we're going to do a whole series on it. We couldn't do it without you. If you're interested in donating or learning more or sharing your story in our documentary or the subsequent series, please visit donate.healinghumanity.movie. And if you sign up for our newsletter, you can do that in the description below. You can buy our shirts. You can become a member on my YouTube channel, or you can sign up at healinghumanity.life if you need more help with your first 30 days of carnivore. We got doctors, experts. We have 12 Zoom calls a week to support you on your journey. All of those links are in the description below, and the proceeds from all of that go towards the documentary. I have never taken a penny from it. I haven't paid myself. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. We're going to wrap things up. We're going to change the world. I'm not going to stop. There's too many people in the world that are hopeless, and they don't need to be. If you're hopeless, there's something you can do about it. And it's not anything that I can help you with. You have to do it. You have to take your life into your own two hands, and you have to become the captain of your own ship, and you have to make the decision, and you have to do it. And you can do it. You can do anything for 30 days. You are a powerful and miraculous human being. It's absolutely amazing that you're even alive in this moment. It's the biggest blessing in the world. Thank you so much for watching.